Salutations, family, and welcome back to Ride Along with the Storm. Family, I just finished watching the latest interview for Cam Newton on his wildly popular podcast, Freaky Friday, and on his interview, he was interviewing K. Michelle, and they did a lot of introspection on K. Michelle. They went into her family history and her background, and it shed a lot of light on K. Michelle for me because I didn't know a lot about K. Michelle's backstory. Basically, all I knew about K. Michelle was she was a former stripper and that she was on a reality show, and she parlayed her success on a reality show into becoming a musical artist. And she does have some musical talent. But with that being said, when you look at it, family, and I was looking at the whole diatribe that she was going into about black men and how black men were creating basically the same trope that they use when they jump on Cam Newton about him having multiple children, and how they believe that Cam Newton, amongst other black men, are creating broken homes. My only problem with this whole philosophy of black men creating broken homes is these men aren't creating broken homes by themselves. And I can't believe K. Michelle had the audacity to even question Cam Newton with her whole backstory of how she came up, of how black men are creating broken homes or single mother homes. When you look at it, family, you got K. Michelle. She talks about her backstory. In her backstory, she explains how she comes from a two-parent household, how her father is actually an educator. Her father's a very popular professor, college professor in Memphis, Tennessee, and her mother was an executive in some kind of logistics firm. I'm in logistics myself, family, and her mother's a top tier executive in a logistics firm, and she comes from a two-parent home from a good upper middle class background. She said then she went on to go to FAMU. FAMU is one of the most prestigious HBCUs in the country, historical black colleges in the country. She went on to this HBCU, FAMU. She ended up getting into a relationship with a guy, and she ended up becoming pregnant while she was in school. The guy proposed marriage to her and wanted to marry her. And guess what happened? Miss K. Michelle declined to marry this young man. So my thing is, family, I dare a woman like this to come online and to be so disingenuous to ask Cam Newton, why is he creating broken homes, when this woman herself comes from a two-parent home and she decided herself not to become married to the man she was impregnated by in college. Then on top of that, she goes on after having being in college and receiving a college degree, and then she chooses to become an exotic dancer or a stripper. Make this make sense to me, family. How do you go to a historically black college, you receive a degree, you come from a stable upper middle class two-parent home, but then you end up deciding to degrade yourself and exploit yourself sexually to become an exotic dancer, and you have the nerve to come online and question somebody else about creating broken homes? How about, instead of you questioning black men about creating broken homes, how about you asking why black men are the only men that are expected to wife strippers, hoes, and other 304s out here in the community, and become stepfathers and become paramours to these women of low value and these low level, low functioning women? Why are black men the only men who are constantly trying to be shamed and to engage in these relationships with these low level women? You see all women of all races, all creeds and all colors become strippers. You see Spanish women who are strippers. You see Caucasian women who are strippers. You see Asian women who are strippers. But you never see any of these other communities calling out to their men to take these women on as wives. These women are seen as what they are. They're for entertainment purposes only, and they'll be to discard it once a man once a man had his fun there to be discarded, and then the man is to go on and find him a high functioning, high functioning, high level woman to engage a long-term relationship, hopefully to engage in marriage, to have a family and to create a legacy with. You can't create a legacy with these low-level, low-vibrational women like K. Michelle, and everybody knows this. But for some odd reason in the black community, black men are the only men that the community is trying to shame, that we should be taking on these women and taking these women seriously, and we should be considering marrying these type of women. It's ridiculous, family. I've never seen no nonsense like this in my life. And for K. Michelle to have the audacity to come on Cam Newton's show and to question him about creating broken homes is utterly ridiculous. Come on, family. You talking about a young lady who comes from a stable two-parent upper middle class home, had the proper upbringing, had a father figure in her life, had a good mother, and she still went in the wrong direction and chose to be a stripper. Now, how do you think her, as a college professor, how do you think her father feels for her to turn out the way she turned out? I know he has to be disappointed in her. And of course, that's his daughter, so he's still going to love her and this and that. But come on, family, she can't be serious even coming on this man's podcast, playing in his face, asking this kind of nonsensical question. It's utterly ridiculous. No other group of men is told that they should wife strippers, 304s, and these low-value, low-level, low-functioning women in the community other than black men, and we not going to go for it. Other people are afraid to stand up and say something about it. I'm not going to be afraid to stand up and say something about it, and men shouldn't be the only ones standing up, speaking up about this situation, family. The high-level, high-vibrational, high-value women in the black community, y'all should be standing up and speaking out against these low-level, low-functioning women trying to shame good black men into marrying them. This is the real reason why there's such a shortage of good black men in the community to marry, because they're being scared away from the institution of marriage by these 304s and these hoes out here running around with their low-functioning, low-vibrational selves talking about how men should wife them and men should marry them and men should come and be stepfathers to their 2 and 3 kids. No, we shouldn't. What we should do, we should find the women of the highest value and of the highest level in the black community. We should engage these women, and we should be taking these women on as wives, and we should be building communities with these women. Right now, family, I can't say any more about this issue, family. Chime in the comments and let me know what y'all think about this. Should black men be ridiculed and criticized for not wanting to marry strippers, 304s, low-level, low-functioning women? Or should black men and black women and black men of a higher caliber and high level and high functioning separate themselves from the dregs of the black community and really build a legacy and take our community into the next level of our evolution, so black people can really reach the prominence in this country that we should have already achieved at this point in our existence in this country? Let me know what y'all think, family. That's going to be all for me, family, on this episode of Ride Along with the Storm. Thank you, family. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to join me for every episode. I'm going to see you next time, family. Peace.
I've been a superstar, and I got paid for what I knew, and I shared the game with them. So much guidance. That's what I did. They paid for knowledge.